What is going on, everyone? Welcome, happy Tuesday. And this is a mastermind only live stream. Let's go ahead and get right into things. Very interesting start to the day with Bitcoin making a big push up and an immediate rejection back down in a very, very quick time span. All right, this was a long and short liquidation to both sides. We did get a tap of our big supply area up here, right? You guys remember the 68.5K must flip and hold level. We got our first tap of this since July, and we're going to see how this day ends up, all right? We still have 8 hours left to finish this daily candle, and right now it does look a bit wacky. We'll see how it does close, all right? We went down to 64,700. We went up to 68,000. Now we're sitting right back at 66,000, like nothing ever happened in the first place. So yeah, a bit of a wild start to the day, but my bias has not changed. Again, my stance right now is I'm bullish on the market, and I'm looking for a push to new highs quickly this month. And if we look here on this version of the Bitcoin chart where we see our 7-month consolidation channel, we didn't quite hit the top of it, but we're right there, and this is what we were looking for, right? So yeah, everything's kind of coming together here, and I still understand the bearish argument up here. And if you're a bear, if you're expecting this to get rejected, this is do or die for you, right? The bears want to short the top of this channel. They want to short the 68K resistance, and they're saying that price is going to go ahead and pull back down here, back into the 50Ks and possibly even lower than 50K. I disagree. We are 3 weeks out from the election. Trump is really pulling ahead right now, according to Polymarket at least. So, yeah, kind of wild times, and my stance is bullish. A Trump victory is very, very bullish for crypto. And maybe the market's kind of pricing it in ahead of time and front-running the election. We'll see. But that's another reason to expect new all-time highs before November 5th here in October. Right, because if the market's going to price in a Trump victory, it likely will do that. And then maybe after the election, it has a pullback. But beforehand, it'll be like the FOMC interest rate cut. Market's pricing in the rate cut kind of ahead of time. That's why it was moving before that date. So yeah, we'll see how we go here. But this live stream is largely for you guys to ask questions, and I'm here to help in any way that I can. So we got Johnny G. He says, "Hi Connor, how are your gains? Where do you live?" So I'm in the tri-state area over here in the U.S. in Jersey, and my gains, my crypto gains, they're decent right now. A lot of coins are waiting for more pushes higher, but yeah, I can't complain. Some coins are moving for sure. Coins like Tau, etc. If you're talking about physical gains, I'm still in physical therapy with my shoulder, so that's a work in progress. And then Johnny G says, "Can you please consider analyzing or adding Mr. Miggles to your meme coin watch list that you regularly cover during live streams?" I can consider that. So Mr. Miggles, this was the Coinbase project. I believe they have an NFT or something, and Coinbase tweeted them out a few months back, and that's what caused it to initially pump so hard. It's not a bad looking chart by any means here, Mr. Miggles. Right, it's kind of just in a dead sideways consolidation like many other meme coin charts that have yet to take off. But in terms of what it's doing right now, it kind of looks like it reclaimed. In fact, it doesn't kind of look like it. It did reclaim this support resistance flip level, right? And you can see price holding support. So holding support right here. So basically from here, I mean, you want to see it break out. Mr. Biggles. 25 million market cap. It's been as high as 100 million before. And if Coinbase tweets it out again, it probably will pump like crazy. That's what gave it its initial hype or attention in the first place. That's what made it relevant. And we got GSEW Watchman. He says, hi, Connor. Hope all is well. Thanks for the live. No problem. GSEW, I believe you were asking me about how to find higher time frame or how to find liquidity on charts, right? How to find the key levels. So, this is a great time to go over that. How do you spot the higher time frame liquidity levels, right? What's the process to that? We'll go through an example right now just so it's crystal clear on how we can do this stuff. Because trading 3 months from now, right? Somebody's going to say in the mastermind in the Discord, they're going to be like, Connor, your trading stuff, it was a great start and I kept on working on my own. And here we are 3 months later and, I'm making money, I'm profitable, and all is good, right? Some of you guys are going to be in that camp. Then there's going to be other people that are going to say, Connor, trading's really difficult. I'm still struggling. I'm not yet profitable 3 months from now. This is how it always is, right? Everybody's results are going to be different. And it's really up to you to put in the work. You can't skip. You can't cut the corner. You can't take shortcuts, right? When it comes to trading, it really is you get out what you put into it, and everybody's going to have different results. But being able to spot the higher time frame liquidity levels is a major hack, and it's going to help you out tremendously. Let's see. Let's use WorldCoin. We'll use WorldCoin as the example. And we're going to just take everything off of the chart here. Clean, fresh chart. So these examples, I go over them in the supply and demand videos, but we're going to do one live right here. So you always want to work your way down on the time frames, all right? You always want to start on the weekly. Some people might like the monthly, but you always want to start on your highest time frame and then work your way down, all right? So here we are on the weekly. What we want to do is we want to spot the origins of sharp moves in price, all right? Where has price moved aggressively from in the past? Because this is usually where a supply and demand level lies. Some people might call that an inefficiency. When a market kind of moves very rapidly from one level, right? It was an inefficient move. It didn't kind of take its time and build a base. So usually these inefficiencies do get revisited. So here we are on WorldCoin. So what I want to do is I want to find supply first. So I'll look up and to the left. Where has price dropped from with a very sharp move? It's right here, right? There's a drop, base, drop, and then a very large swing down here, right? So we want to isolate that supply zone. We want to isolate the base, the drop, the base, and the drop. We isolate that. Now we want to look down into the left to find our higher time frame demand zone. Well, one just formed. We had a rally, 2 basing candles here, base, base. And now this week is on WorldCoin is looking like another big rally candle. All right, so maybe a bit preemptive to isolate this one instead of the bottom here, which I would say is kind of the stronger higher time frame reversal level. Right, this one down here. But I know something's in here around $2, all right? So what I want to do is I want to drop the time frame to basically isolate it and figure out what's going on in here. All right, so these are our higher time frame supply and demand levels closest to current price. Now we can drop this down to the daily time frame from the weekly. All right, and on the daily, we get a clearer picture of exactly what's going on. So this isn't a great, this is more of just a horizontal support level down here at around 150. All right, this is not necessarily like a demand zone. It's more of a reaction from what happened actually over here back in September of 2023 with price revisiting this 130 to 150 level. Because on the daily here, I would isolate See, I've been doing this for 7 years straight, so my eyes go directly to the things on the chart that most people won't see unless they've been kind of doing it the way I've been doing it for as long as I've been doing it. My eyes go directly to this red candle here in the midst of these green bars, right? This is an order block, demand level, bullish breaker, whatever you want to call the thing. All I know is that should be isolated. And that gives us a better picture. So this price action was simply a reaction off of what happened over here. Now, closest to current price, we want to isolate the level. All right, so there's a rally-based rally candle right here. That's your closest demand zone to current price. That's also on the weekly open and the Monday low. I mean, that's perfect, right? So we know if price comes down here, sweeps the Monday low in this demand zone, we want to be looking for longs, all right? We also know by doing other analysis that this is putting in, see this high? This is a higher high. See this low down here? This is a higher low, all right? So we know we're in a new uptrend, another higher high here. So we want to look for the next higher low. It's very simple when you break the chart down to plan the trades ahead of time. So anyways, we're on the daily still. Anyways, Monday low, weekly open, rally base, rally demand level. All right, that looks great. And if we look up and to the left, we do have this. See how this was the origin of a sharp move down? Not the best, but still pretty good. All right, so we want to isolate that as a supply zone. And it's right at $3 as well. So I always know like a nice psychological round number like $2.50, $3. And there's a level of confluence there, right? We definitely want to isolate that. Now what I'll do is I'll usually drop it down to the 4 hour. I'll go weekly, daily, 4 hour time frames. Maybe I'll look at the 12 hour sometimes, but for the most part, I stick to those three. Now in the 4 hour, we'll get a very clear picture of exactly what's going on. All right, so here we have WorldCoin. What did it do? Right, we had our Monday range, a tight little range in here on Monday, but we pumped, deviated the Monday high. We're now back trading at the premium of the Monday range, right? Because we're above the Monday mid. But just from on the daily time frame, being able to isolate that demand zone, and then knowing we have our Monday low down here and our weekly open down here, the plan for WorldCoin is very simple, actually, right? All we want to do is long it in demand down here at around $2. But that was just one example of how I look at a chart from higher time frames to lower time frames to spot the key levels where the liquidity is, some might say. Whatever terminology you want to use, that's how I do it. And again, I've been staring at the screen every day for 7 years. My eyes are trained differently from many other people's eyes, right? My eyes go directly to levels because they've just been trained to do that. I've back tested so much now. So if you're not at that point yet, you need to put in the time, you need to put in the hours. Again, there's no shortcut around doing the work, right? It's tedious, but it's the most rewarding thing ever. Trading is the most rewarding profession there is. There's no ceiling on your income. There's nobody to tell you what to do. You're your own boss. You determine how much money you make. You're fully in charge and everything is on you. So there's no shortcuts, but it is an extremely rewarding path that, I mean, I'm grateful I walked down it and I'm still walking down and I'm a student of the game. I'm still learning, but anyways, not to go off on too much of a tangent, that's how you find your key areas where the liquidity levels lie on your price charts. It's a process that you're going to have to refine. You might do it slightly differently from me, but as long as you continue to practice, you'll be able to spot the key levels. Let's see. Glasshopper77, he says, thanks for the awesome content. No problem, Glasshopper. Obi-Wan says, appreciate the streams. No worries, man. Thanks for your support always, Obi-Wan. Differiner says, you're in Jersey. I'm going to be there next week visiting my grandparents in West Orange. Nice, man. That's, I'm I don't know, like an hour away maybe or something. I actually have had meetups with members before in the past, so it wouldn't be the first time we did a member meetup. Let's see. Danny says, Captain, can you consider deep diving on Cubic and all their updates over the last couple of quarters? It's my largest position, just waiting for liftoff. So yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of fundamental updates in regards to Cubic. Let me go ahead and pull up the full length chart on it. I can certainly go over all of those fundamental updates. I can make a video about that topic and release it on YouTube. But the main thing here is just looking at the chart. 1 second, 1 moment. Again, I'm a student of the game. I recommend everybody read this book, Technical Analysis of the Financial Markets by John J. Murphy. I mean, this is what people have to like read and study in school if they want to go into like being a stockbroker and stuff like that. But a lot of good stuff in there. But essentially, right, you're asking me about the fundamentals of Cubic. This book goes over technical analysis versus fundamental analysis. And the conclusion the book comes to is that all the fundamentals are reflected in the price chart. So you get the fundamental stuff by simply looking at the chart. All right, so keep that in mind, all right? Price chart tells all. Price chart is the most important thing. So with that being said, if we look at the chart here, we know that the market structure has changed, right? We know that this was a very aggressive downtrend, and over here it found a bit of a bottom because the market structure changed. It's no longer just a strong downtrend. It's now sideways. See if we can blow this to full screen. Not really. But I want to use this full length chart on Safe Trade, so we'll stick with this. So we're in a range and we're below this very, very key swing low from February 1st at 2,000 per billion. Now we tried to break out, and on the weekly here, we didn't quite make a higher high. Yeah, that's our key high we kind of have to reclaim at 3,300 per billion to officially be in a new uptrend. So yeah, Cubic right now, it's very pivotal, very, very important that this ends up being a higher low. If this ends up being a higher low and it goes up here and it clears 3,300 per billion, that means that this period of sideways is likely over. In fact, I would say with a 99.9% certainty, it would be over if this scenario happens where we get a higher low here and we break out past 3,300 per billion. Now, if this gets ugly, which I don't think will happen, because remember, there's that $1 million US buy order over here at 1,500 per billion in this bottom kind of demand zone. So this is like rock solid support down here. And price hasn't, maybe it put in one wick into the level on the 9th of October, the 10th of October, but you know that we know this is rock solid support, huge limit orders down here. So yeah, we simply want to see a higher low and we want to see price start to go ahead and make higher highs. And that's what the chart is looking like right now. So again, the fundamentals are kind of baked into the chart. And you know, the fact that it hasn't made a lower low and it's sideways tells us that it's an accumulation. It's just accumulating, in my view. So yeah, that's what we're looking for on Cubic, and we'll see how it goes, right? And for the most part, I know Cubic is frustrating. But it's not too far off from a lot of other, say, AI coins out there, right? Something like OXO is, it did put it in a 2x from the bottom, but it has pulled back substantially, right? Stuff like Acash, which is a very bullish AI coin, is just dead sideways. FET's been slow, although this is, a market leader when it comes to AI. So it is up nice off the bottom, around 80-90%. DNX was just at its bear market lows the other day, before it put in a 40% daily candle. The point I'm trying to make right now, NMT is slow. There's a lot of other AI coins in a very similar situation to Cubic, right? So I know we're very honed in on Cubic, because it's a large position that I have, and it's a large position I guess many of you guys have as well, right? So I'm aware of this, but that means we're very honed into it, and we watch its every little move. But a lot of other AI coins are in similar positions, similar places. Some of them are really doing good, like DEAI as well as Tau. But I wouldn't single out Cubic and say it sucks when many other AI coins are in a very similar situation. Let's see. What's going on, Dre? Good to have you here. And we got Differainer. He says, can you run through the Polyfi meme strategy in more detail for the next few weeks? Especially wondering about how much of my Trump coins to sell pre-election and how much to hold till he wins. For sure. So October 15th, we got about 20 days, less than 3 weeks until the big day, November 5th. So the Polyfi strategy is basically go after the Trump coins, right? The main option you have is Trump, which is currently trading at $4.34. So let's go to the daily time frame here. Okay, guys, so this is actually setting up beautifully for another leg higher. I mean, it's a pretty simple chart, pretty simple structure here, just kind of a symmetrical triangle. Some might call it a bull pennant. Whatever you want to call it, it's bullish. All right, so the plan, I would say minimum is sell half of your Trump for the election. All right, look for the next parabolic move up to $7-8 up over here. And if you were buying down here at, $172, I would say sell at least half of your bag, and then keep the other half just risk free. You can sell up to 80% of your bag before the election, because there is the scenario where he loses and all these coins crash, right? So you want to protect yourself from that. I don't see that happening, but again, the market is going to be right regardless of what you think. So you need to protect yourself against what can possibly happen here in the market. But yeah, when it comes to this Trump coin, the next major level is up here at around $7-8. All right, so that's a good level to take some profit. And then above that, you have levels at 13-14, which would be a double of 7-8, right? So I would definitely say take some chips off of the table at around $7-8. We'll see how many days that is before the election when it does get there. But there's a good chance that this thing puts in most of the gains in like 1 or 2 days. This is usually what happens in a parabolic trend. Right, this is still in a very early stage of a parabola if it's going to go parabolic. But usually in a parabola, like you can see here, the last few days is when it put in, say, a 47% move, where it kind of covered the same ground it did in like 2 weeks. The point I'm trying to make is that the last part of a parabolic trend is the most aggressive, where price moves the most. So you don't want to like sell everything before the aggressive parabolic trend. So yeah, just to wrap it up, sum it up, I would look to, no matter what Polyfi coin you're in, Trump, MAGA had as well, it's kind of in a similar situation. no matter which one of these you're in, I would say sell at least half of your bag before the election, maybe 60 to 80% of it, and keep a, at least 20% post-election in case Trump does win and these coins just keep on going crazy for a while. Let's see. GSCW Watchman, he says, thanks. Really appreciate that. Your explanations are always so clear. No worries, GSCW. Glad it helped. And Johnny G says, any other books you recommend? Just bought Reminiscences of a Stock Operator. Yeah, that's the best one for market psychology. That's the best trading book when it comes to market psychology. Without a doubt. Definitely get this one. If you're serious about this, you need to read this stuff, right? If you actually want to be a professional, you got to put in the time. You got to continuously expand your knowledge. So yeah, Technical Analysis of the Financial Markets is a good one. In the past, I've read books like Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. Haven't read that book in, say, 5 years plus. But 5 years ago, I read it like 3 times in the span of a year. It's a pretty good book. It's just mindset. I would stick with Reminiscences and these other ones before that. And then there's a good one right now that I just finished up. This one I recommend. Best Loser Wins. Another mindset game, but this one does have some kind of practical knowledge as well. Yeah, start with that, and that's really all you need. You can't skip the time on the chart, so you got to put in the time. That's the most important thing. Check up on Bitcoin here. So it's kind of back to the daily open. Shorts got liquidated, longs got liquidated, and now ideally we start to go up from here. A lot of people wondering about Kaspa. So Kaspa did break trend here on the daily, which is not a great sign. Ideally, this would just be a deviation and just reclaim 14 cents. That would be very important to do. But yeah, Kaspa held strong while the market was dumping for 7 months, and now while the market picks up, Kaspa's starting to dump. So it's just doing the opposite of the remainder of the rest of the market. Maybe it wants to come down to the early open at 11. But overall, let's just be very practical and real for a second. It broke the line, right? This is not a 15-minute time frame trend line. This is a weekly. It's a very important, very, very important trend line. Yeah, we had a weekly candle close below it, so that's not good. Plain and simple, that is not good. And yeah, I see all of this down here at the yearly open, so maybe it does want to come back down, test this base of support again, which would really drown out a lot of holders, right? Make a lot of people sell, which is the whole point. That's the whole point of a move like this, to get people to sell low instead of selling high. So consider that if you're holding CAS, which I'm sure many of you are. There's a chance it comes down here to the 11-10 cent levels, back to the base of support. Cubic we already went over. We're looking for that higher low. We know we got rock solid support down here at 1500 per billion. We skipped over Tau, but Tau is right at the all-time highs. It's extremely close. we'll see how it goes here, because if Bitcoin does end up say head faking and going lower, Tau will come back into the fours. It will come back below $500. And on the daily, all your moving averages are kind of here at around 400. So that would be a blessing if you see Tau again in the 400s. Bitcoin would need to allow that by breaking down and not immediately shooting up to, 74K here to the all-time high. If Bitcoin shoots up, Tau is also going to break out into all-time highs, why I think it's best to already be positioned into it. Render's been very quiet. So this is a sign of reaccumulation, just these little higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. It's all reaccumulation leading for a massive breakout. Injective, similar, right? Continuous higher lows. It made a higher high. Also looks like it's gearing up for a big move higher. SMH, this thing is brutal. Absolutely brutal. But when it comes to the concept of buying low and selling high, I mean, look, how much lower could it get? These are, if we go look at SMH here on Safe Trade, these are bear market prices. It's back in bear market prices. It has revisited the bottom. Now, I don't care what you think about SMH. I don't care if you think it's the worst coin in the world. When it comes to an investor's perspective of buying low and selling high, this is low. This is the definition of low on a chart. So take with that information what you will. If you want to be able to buy low and to then further sell high, this is low. And yes, I know up here at $2, I made my first buy. I'm very aware that was a bad call. But what are we going to do? Cry about it? Cry over spilt milk? All we can do is look ahead. And this is low. So yeah, look for SMH to find a bottom somewhere around here. Naka looks good here, just sitting in consolidation. Still a good game 5 pick. Prime bouncing from the line, which isn't too surprising. Pretty sure the other day I was saying on live that if you want to buy Prime, buy it here on the trend line. OXO, again, we looked at that already. Anyone, aka A-Tor, below $1, you have at least a 10x on anyone, I'd say, from here. Rio. So chart dumped down here to 75 cents, and it's been holding 75 cents. All right, all things considered, this wasn't that bad. I mean, it was still a 20% move. 40%, but the current price, it's 23% down from where that FUD started on Saturday. So it hasn't really broken structure. It hasn't made a lower low. All right, this is still a higher low. So yeah, I'm still holding the Rio. I haven't sold any of it. And again, if anything, all I would do is use stable coins to add another real world asset position to my portfolio. If I do sell the Rio, I'll tell you, I'll put it on an alert, but I haven't sold it just yet. It is a consideration because, again, opportunity cost is very expensive. Opportunity cost is a very, very harsh lesson teacher. But yeah, I'll let you know what I do with Rio if I do end up selling it. Domi's a great buy right now. I think this one's going to put in a lot of multiples. If anybody doesn't have much gaming and they're looking for a very dark horse pick, Domi online. I think it has the potential to be a pretty big Web3 game. Change now. Late mover, doing late mover things. Corpo, another option for gaming. Very low market cap, brand new coin. And again, when it comes to buying low and selling high, this is low. Tectum. Still holding above 1050, but this is the level that it absolutely must hold above. So yeah, we just want to see it continue to sideways consolidate and ideally start to lift off from here. Also notice is right on the daily 200 EMA, which is the mean. It's like the middle. So in an aggressive bull trend, the price will be well above it. In an aggressive downtrend, it will be well below it, like we saw down here. But in a sideways kind of trend, it will find equilibrium in the middle, which is what Tectum is doing right now. So this thing swayed too high, it swayed too low. Now it's back to the middle. And ideally, it would make sense if it does go up from here. See the current market cap of this coin, Epic Prime. So this is a 5 million market cap kind of metaverse gaming coin in Epic Prime. Very low market cap. I wouldn't be surprised to see this thing have another run when gaming does take off, right? When gaming took off at the end of last year, this one did extremely well. I wouldn't be surprised to do it extremely well again. A0. I mean, yeah. What a trash coin. Crown. Good moves off of the bottom. Still a lot of work to do though. Some AI coins like AGI. AGI is starting to look really good, like it wants to break out. AI tech as well in this kind of bullish consolidation structure looks good. What happened to Duel yesterday? I mean, it looks like they just offloaded. Somebody big just offloaded a bunch of Duel Game GPT yesterday with this daily candle. They just market sold every coin they had. That's what happens when you get a wick like this. That looks like capitulation. But yeah, this thing's now back to the kind of the bear market lows. So any bullish momentum was stopped in its tracks. Inflation is an issue with this coin with the staking. And I think that this candle is a reflection of that. Yeah, not a great look for Game GPT at all. Let's see. Getting into some more AI coins. DNX we talked about already. Based AI. I think that this one's a very big sleeper pick and will do very well. How I look at Base AI is there's coins like Uniswap, you know, which the founder Hayden Adams, he's been very close to Vitalik Buterin and the Ethereum Foundation for a while now. You know, there's OG DeFi coins like MakerDAO and CRV, stuff like that, right? All these are OG Ethereum projects. I see Based AI as like the OG AI Ethereum pick, right? Because the developers have, you know, been around Ethereum since the very early days. They launched Pepe Coin back in 2016. So I see Based AI as like the Ethereum AI coin. And this cycle is largely different from the last cycle. Last cycle, ETH was huge. Everything happened on ETH, right? The NFT boom, all the big airdrops, right? Ethereum name service, stuff like that. Everything happened on ETH. If you held ETH and you were using ETH, you made the most out of the last cycle. That's changed. It's now Solana. However, AI wasn't a thing in the last cycle. Now it is. and Based AI is the Ethereum AI coin. So that's my thesis on it and why I see it doing quite well. Why I see it doing quite well this cycle. So when it comes to this swing trade on Rose, we want to use this whole area to scale in. All right, the entry is from 7.2 or 7. So yeah, we want to use this basically, this entire area to fill the order, because this is a swing position. You can go spot, you can go low leverage if you like. I wouldn't suggest high leverage with this loose of a stop. But yeah, we're just looking for the breakout here, back up to the early open on Rose. I think there's a strong chance that this one does play out. Even if it takes a while to get going, I don't see it coming back down here to the previous week low. So ORT as well, I would just continue. If you're looking for a low cap AI coin to add to your portfolio, ORT is the one I've selected, the most recent one. So when it comes to this coin, I would just DCA, dollar cost average it maybe once a week, once every 2 weeks, whenever possible. Just DCA it and keep building a position, because this thing is still very low. It's still very low compared to where it can go. But yeah, guys, that's kind of the whole watch list there. When it comes to active trades, Saga broke out. I'd be looking to, if given, I would be looking to buy the Monday low. However, with these coins, oftentimes they don't make it to the Monday low, and the best you'll get is the Monday mid. So there's a saying I say to myself: bid the Monday mid, bid the mid. Could be a scenario here to bid the mid. It makes the most sense, right? Everyone would like the move back down to 270 to get long, but that will be a full retrace of this huge daily candle, which has happened, right? It's already halfway done. But if this thing's going to continue to break out, you don't want to see a full retrace of a huge breakout candle. You just, you don't want to see that. That's a sign of weakness. So this level, this demand level, if it's going to continue to aggressively break out, that's where you want to bid, right at the 50% as well. And let's see, CFX. So I think that CFX is a good coin to long. It is looking a little sketchy right now, kind of breaking this trend. But this is probably a good level to long this thing. Just swept the Monday low. If Bitcoin's gonna pump, I think that this thing might have the potential to rip right up to, say, like 30 cents, at least 25 cents, which is a 50% move to 25 cents. This one's gonna explode, CFX. And I think that this is a good entry with low risk. So anybody looking for a long trade right now, here's CFX. I understand the risk, but that looks like a pretty good entry right there on CFX. I've been watching this thing all week long, so that's why I say this. Let's look at a few more alts to trade here in the short term before we wrap this stream up. I'm quite interested to see. Yeah, so Bitcoin, it was just a scam move this morning. Total scam move to wipe out a bunch of shorts and longs, to take both sides out. And we're kind of headed back up here. So yeah, the buy is long is the way to do it. CFX, if you're looking for something right now, I think this is the entry. It's starting to move already. Let's see anything else though. I mean, I was just looking at Pepe right at the monthly open. Came exactly to the 1.0 level. I mean, this price action was so clean. It came down to sweat these lows. Now it's going back up. Again, Monday mid. It's not, a lot of these coins will not give you the Monday low. If we're 2 weeks left in October right now. The first 2 weeks have been down, red. If we're going to have green weeks, price is not going to come back down to where it was at the low of Monday. It's going to, the end of the week, it's going to be up here. All right, so you can't be waiting for the Monday low if it's not offered to you in these charts. Important to remember that. But Pepe here around the Monday mid, it looks decent. I think this is worth a try, to be honest with you. 4%. And, you know, you're not going for a 10% move here on Pepe. You're going for the new all-time high. You're going for the all-time high. All of these coins, right? The market is in a position to expand rapidly to the upside. So, yeah. There's Pepe. Also, when it comes to the on-chain, like buying brand new coins on Solana, I've been looking really into the software that a lot of these people use, right? Kind of like the AI detection software that lets them know about the new pairs that are getting bid up by whale wallets early, stuff like this. So I'm looking into it, and I'm kind of learning exactly how to set it up for myself right now. So yeah, that's something to look forward to as well inside of the Discord. Because if we go into this bull market that I'm expecting right now, you know, the new launches, the on-chain plays, the Solana Casino, it's only going to get more enticing and more crazy. It has been pretty crazy over the past month, but there should be so much opportunity still in the future. So the degenerate meme coin calls will be back, and I'm just trying to get the best kind of available software to find the new coins, best in market that everybody seems to be using right now. I'm setting it up on my own, so that's another thing to look forward to, guys. But overall, that's what's happening today. Johnny G says, thanks for your guidance. What's your short to midterm price prediction for Megals, Bobo, and Ponky? Same thing with the rest of the market, up, higher. So if Ponky's going to stay strong, you don't want to see it lose 38 cents here, the Monday low. Bobo. Again, Bobo is in the expansion phase. So I'm expecting Bobo to expand higher. And Miggles, again, Miggles is in the upper half of this kind of range it's in. You want to see it keep holding support at 22 mil market cap and break out above the higher line. So yeah, higher, bullish, like this. Also, the Fungi coin, which I shared in the Discord the other day, at around I believe it was like 3.5 million market cap. It's up to 6.7 now, so almost a 2x. Over here on Fungi, if anybody wanted to take that play, this is a Murad coin he tweeted back a few months ago. there's just this stigma whenever teams change tokenomics. Sometimes it's not fair. Yeah, and the thing with, I believe you're talking about Rio. The thing with this Rio tokenomics change is apparently it was brought, like it's a decentralized network, right? So the community can propose these things. So apparently this was brought by the community. But the thing is, the team could be holding a ton of tokens and propose this and want to do it themselves. So you just don't know. That's the problem with this decentralization of these networks right now. But I agree. But the thing with Rio, it wouldn't take effect for like another 6 months or so. And it would happen over 30 to 40 years. So it's not really the most unfair thing right here in the immediate short term. But yeah, it definitely took all the wind out of Rio's sails in the short term. And then Crypto Middle East and Africa. He says, hey, Connor, what's your price prediction on AI tech? Just took a position yesterday. Billions in market cap for AI tech, right? It's 116 mil. I think a conservative prediction would be like 2 to 4 billion. Right? I wouldn't be surprised to see it go up to 2 billion in market cap, 20x from here. They're an AI data storage facility. That's only going to be like the most in-demand thing ever for AI in the next decade plus. So if everything AI tech say they're doing is real, it should have massive appreciation because they actually have an actual product to the market that needs it. It's a product market fit. So it should do really well. But guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap up the stream. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a great Tuesday. I'll be live on YouTube for a public stream later on. I'm here to help in any way that I can. You can DM me. I'm here for a reason. I do these live streams for a reason. So yeah, reach out if you need help. I'm always here. And yeah, see you guys very soon. Have a good rest of your Tuesday. And come join the public stream later on in the